The home of the common Joe and the common Sally in the know, even more so than all those media talking heads. As you can see, I got my little pink hat off the wall, my cancer hat that I got from the WWE, because today's lead up is going to be dedicated to those people out there fighting cancer and those cancer survivors. More specifically, here recently, Julie Venables just went surgery to remove cancer that did not get to her lymph nodes. As you know, Julie Venables is the wife of Brent Venables since 1997. So let's just keep the Venables family in our prayers. And here's to kicking cancer's ass. Now, today's topic is going to be the fact that Oklahoma is now surging in recruiting, and it just seems like deja vu all over again. While the USC Skittle Shitters are in reverse, as they always do when we get to the end of the recruiting cycle, Oklahoma always seems to come back and pass USC, and USC seems to finish with a thud. Let's talk about it. Yeah, baby. It's another episode of the Outlaw of College Football, and here they come riding in once again. It's the Outlaw Posse. Now, in effect, and as promised, our four horsemen shout out. For those that are a member of the Outlaw Posse membership, they are as follows: Alice Stokes, Marty Keene, Eric Taco Marino, and Shelley Lamy are mounted up and saddled up, and they're ready to go and help me with this college football invasion. And if you want to get your badge and get your periodic shout out as well, all you got to do is join the Outlaw Posse. It's not but $2.99 a month, 75 cents a week. There's a join button next to the subscribe button. Also, I can be located on Twitter at OCF Productions. Now, getting right to it here, the Oklahoma versus USC saga continues. Now, I know we're going to have the little wet diapers and loose noodles coming up in here. The Skittle Shitters, they're going to get mad like they always do. Old Lonely, and can't remember that other boy's name. Lavender, I don't know, Jackass. Anyway, they'll be up in here crying and wetting their diaper because, once again, USC it seems like they're fizzling out again. Now, this is a narrative that's been going on the past two seasons, and now, in a third season, once again, the same narrative. It's like deja vu. USC starts out like gangbusters. They pull ahead of Oklahoma in February, March, and then Oklahoma just glides on up there and passes them like they have each and every season since Brent Venables has been there. And I hate to keep expounding on it, but it's just funny to me that old Tebow stuck his foot in his mouth, Tebow, that being the bitch out west, Lincoln Riley, by saying that you can't recruit to Oklahoma, and yet they've been out-recruited the past two seasons, and now it looks like they're going to be out-recruited for a third season in a row, as Oklahoma is now past USC, from what I'm seeing on here. On Rivals, I think that Oklahoma's up to 15th or 16th or 17th, and USC's down at 19th or 20th, because they've got a bunch of decommitments. That's the thing. You can get all these early commitments that you want, but more likely they're not going to stick. Plus, I think these commitments, I'll give you their names right now before I forget. These decommitments for USC are as follows. I'll probably butcher these names, but oh well. It still don't stop the fact that they decided they don't want to go out there and play for USC. Manasseh Atiti, a four-star offensive tackle, Aaron Butler, a four-star athlete, Dylan Williams, a four-star linebacker, and Jason Robinson, a wide receiver, have all decommitted from USC. These are all pretty good players. It's not like you lost a two-star athlete. You've lost a bunch of four-stars. Meanwhile, on the flip side of things, Oklahoma has got Taylor Tatum, five-star running back. That was directly a war with USC that, once again, Oklahoma won. Then they got Eugene Brooks, who is an offensive lineman from California. the state that he was supposed to wall off. As I've said ad nauseum 100 times, I'm going to keep reminding him about it because he said it. And these USC fans get mad all you want and say, why you got to keep saying that? Well, I just want y'all to remember that y'all said that there was not going to be anybody coming into California getting decent recruits. And these are 3, 4, and 5-star athletes that are getting taken from USC. Then after Eugene Brooks, you have Mikael Patterson McDonald, who is a wide receiver, 4-star wide receiver. These are players at the offensive positions. These are key offensive positions, glamour positions, so to speak, that, Lincoln Riley's supposed to dominate that, right? I can understand if Brent Venables was beating your ass in defensive recruiting, but he's not. He's beating you on every aspect, man. He's across the board. He's varied. And that's what you're going to have to be. It seems like the same narrative keeps playing out each and every year. And it's becoming almost too easy to grill y'all because y'all keep doing the same stuff and saying the same stupid things each and every year and making yourself look bad at the end. Because the narrative has been the same for the past 2 seasons, now going on a 3rd season. But the narrative is going to change a little bit. And the narrative is going to change because, Brent Venables is now getting his program in place. He's weeded out the people that he needed to weed it out. Not just trashed everybody like con time. And they're going to do a lot better in 6 and 7 this year. So the narrative is going to change a little bit. Y'all are right. The narrative can't keep being the same because it's not. Oklahoma's probably going to win 9 or 10 games this year. Don't be surprised if we're in contention for a playoff spot late in the season. While USC and all the crap they've been saying, and you automatically think, well, we had a Heisman Trophy winner. That means that we're going to be great. We're going to win. Why don't you ask Alabama? Why don't you ask my team how that works out? It don't always work out that way. Because in college football, you have turnover each and every year. It ain't like the NFL where you can hold on to players for longer periods of time. You're going to have graduation and people leaving every year in football. And there's just not the same exact people there to support Mary, Caleb, Fingernails, Williams. He might be having to paint his fingernails quite a bit this year if he gets mad about losing, like he did with Utah last year. He got a little pissed off, and the next game he played Utah, he painted F Utah on his fingernails. Well, he may be having to paint F somebody on his fingernails 3 or 4 times because their schedule's a lot more difficult this year. And the recruiting is nowhere near where it needs to be. And like I've said before, if you try to build your team basically on transfer portal players, everybody's going to get a few. I understand that. But if you try to build your entire roster on that, you're going to fail because those players obviously did not work out at their former team for a reason. And I'd say 70 or 80% of the time, those players just are not what they were hyped up to be. And they're not going to be any good with you either. Like I said, there's a few exceptions out there to the rule, and there always will be. But the moral of the story here is that the more things change, the more they stay the same, right? Especially when it comes to Oklahoma versus USC in recruiting. And that's all I got to say about that. You guys and gals, what you think about all this? Do you think that USC is going to continue to slip? Do you think Oklahoma is going to continue to surge? Do you think that I'm being too hard on those USC skittle shitters out there? Drop in the comments section. Let me know. There's a little heart down here. Got a little $sign in the middle. If you want to give a one-time donation program, hit that heart. Throw a few dollars in the coffers. And as I said earlier, if you want to get your badge and you want to get your random 4 horsemen shout out periodically, get mounted up, get saddled up, and join the Outlaw Posse, it's not but $2.99 a month, 75 cents a week. That's just a soda, man. You can buy the Outlaw a soda, can't you? Also, we had a great one-time donation from J.D. Wilmoth, and credits for this show and these ideas also go to Courtney at Tulsa Fan Sooner 1 and Eric Taco Marino with a double dip. But anyway, I'm out of here. KMCA to all the other teams. Class is now officially dismissed.